I'm here from Experiences in Channeling, and today I wanted to come on to talk about the third way. So nice to meet you, nice to see you again. So, what is the third way? Well, recently I've been doing a lot of channeling and a lot of meditating, and the realization came through, not so recently, but a few years ago, that with the yin and the yang symbol, there's that middle line, and that's the line that we're attempting to go down as we go through our lives. If we get into one side or the other, for example, these past 6 years, and even now, it's a battlefield, and there are words that you're not supposed to say, or words that can trigger people, and people lose their stuff over words, right? And people are so attached to these words. It's like a new religion. And so, but if you're in that place, you are in a place where you can't be creative, right? Simply that you can't create. And so you're in a place, a place of no power, a powerlessness, a place of powerlessness. And so I'd been talking about this third path, this middle path, but I kept wondering if like people who are really well versed with the yin and yang are going to be, saying he knows nothing about the yin and yang, and I was just waiting for it, to come at some point. But instead, what came was I bought this book. I'm really interested in acupuncture. I go to acupuncture a lot, and it works. It actually works. It just works, and you don't really have to. Well, I'm not even sure if you have to believe in it or not. I'm not sure, but it works for me. Whenever I have an issue, I can feel it almost instantaneously. I can feel when they're working on my body. I can feel the energetic shifts, and it's like, oh, that's great. Thank you. You did it. And sometimes, even when I go in there, last time I went in there, I said, I think it's this point and this point and this point. They're like, yeah, you got it. That's it. And so it's, you can't really go wrong with 5,000 years of science, compared to 200 years. But not to say anything in that way, but it works for me. And so anyway, I'm really interested in it because it works, and for all kinds of different issues. And so I bought a book. I was looking for a good book on it, and I found this one book. This book is it's kind of it's kind of like acupuncture for dummies, explaining Chinese medicine for dummies. Because there's a big old textbook, and I just thought, I'm not really ready for the big textbook yet. But this one is really good, and I'm just reading through it. And then I came to, what page was this on? Does it say page 12? And it says, here it is, right here. The fatal mistake from this popular yin-yang symbol is the static image. So they say here, the third element. So they're saying the same thing. It's the third element. And he's saying that this, according to or Taoism or Chinese medicine, that this is qi. This is the qi force, the qigong, the energy force, our life force. And I thought, wow, it was such a great confirmation. And then, so I'm also reading a book. The book I don't have it up right now, but it's called The Next Octave. I recommend it if you're interested. It's really interesting, and she's a musician. Here it is, right here. If you can look down at the bottom of your screen, it's called The Next Octave, and it's by Stephanie McPeak Peterson. I recommend it. It's good if you have studied music; it'll be easier to read. She does go a little bit into music theory, and if you're not really familiar with music theory, it can be a bit hard to follow, but it's not impossible. You can figure it out. And but anyway, she started talking in this book about this guy. It's on the screen, Hideki Yukawa. And Hideki Yukawa, he found this thing called the meson, M-E-S-O-N. Meson means the middle in between. And what he found was that what is the meso? The meso is in between the electrons, and if I'm going to get this right with my bad science skills, it is, give me 10 seconds here. Okay, still looking for it. Okay, so I'll just read what she wrote. So let's see. The meson, with its complementary aspects of elementary particle and field nucleus, is one of the most striking. Okay, no. Here it is. is. Okay, the mesons were carrier particles of the strong nuclear force that holds atomic nuclei together, so named because the mass of the meson was between that of the proton and the electron. So the meson is what holds everything together, and the meson is the middle. So, and I thought, that's wonderful. There's just so many confirmations that are coming through about the third way, about this path that we're all on, that we're all attempting to do. And this is what the Course of Miracles is all about too. So it's all about forgiveness. It's all about letting go. It's all about not getting into the getting into the yin or the yang, or choosing sides, or being on one side or the other, because all it does is make you want to fight, because that side is wrong and this side is right. But when you come to terms with it, you realize that the only right that there is that we're made of love, and we are in the middle path. And you can call that love key, or whatever you want to call it, right? Or the life energy, or energy force, or what's the other word that they used to use in the 1800s? The ether, right? Whatever you want to call it. They're just words. They're all just words. But what was wonderful was just all of these wonderful confirmations. And so I've been doing a lot. I've been practicing a lot. I'm taking a Qigong course, and I've been practicing a lot with that. And I've been finding really wonderful. I really recommend it. Wisdom Tree Institute, if you're interested. Unfortunately, I don't. I'm kind of promoting all this stuff, but I don't get anything from it. But I do. What I do get is the satisfaction of knowing that someone might be going to a good teacher. He's a really good teacher. So if you, like me, are someone that can pick up a lot on energy and tends to get attacked because you're a little too sensitive to what's going on around you, it's a really good course, because it helps you to build up your energy fields. And again, just like the acupuncture, it's very practical, and I like practical. I love down to earth. I mean, I'm channeling mermaids and angels and all kinds of stuff, but I'm a really simple down to earth guy, or at least I think I am. Maybe I'm not, but so I like simple down to earth solutions to issues and things of this nature. So yeah. So, and then before I get into that a little bit more, I wanted to talk about, so along this path of the middle path, the Qigong path, or the middle path, the third way. So there's a Course in Miracles lesson that I love. And so in this lesson, I think forgiveness offers everything you want. Yeah. So whatever it is that you're looking for, if you forgive, you'll find it. And so I do the Course in Miracles every day. I do it as my morning meditation. And I like it because it just gives me a foundation, a routine. So a routine that I can get into every day. I'm a musician. I was trained as a musician, so I'm really good at doing the everyday stuff, like the practicing every day, even though you don't want to. And I think it applies to spiritual stuff as well, meditation, Qigong, all this kind of stuff. It's just practice, it's just getting your mind into it. Channeling as well. So this lesson, so getting back to this. So forgive and be forgiven. As you give, you will receive. There is no plan but this for the salvation of the Son of God. Now, whether or not you believe or you don't believe, that's fine. Whatever you believe is fine. But what I find when I do this lesson, especially these forgiveness lessons, I find that this great weight is lifted off of my shoulder when you call into, for example, all of the beings. So there is a being in the public eye at this moment that you all know, and that if you watch this video about a few months from now, you're not going to know who it is. But his name starts with an F and it ends with a Chi. And he's in the public eye now, and he's getting, everyone's just focusing all of their negative energy on him, right? And so everyone's just really angry, right? And so they're getting into the yin energy, and they're just getting angry, and but what I found is that that's not really beneficial for anyone. It never helps getting into the yin energy or the yang energy, or getting into either of those sides. But instead, forgiveness. Forgive. So yeah, You see the stuff and you say, man, wow. But forgive and be forgiven. What you give, you will receive. When you attack someone in that way, you're just sending it right back at yourself. And so this is a good practice at this moment with this guy whose name starts with an F and ends with a G, who you probably know now, but you know, a few months from now, if you watch this video, you're like, what is he talking about? Fibonacci? But yeah, but anyway, so, and I don't mean to be, what's the word? Coded about this, but I just want to keep these messages kind of open and not too focused on one issue or another, so that if you are watching this a few months from now, you'll just understand that whoever it is that is in the news, because in the few months coming, there will be many people who will be coming up, and then everyone will be focusing all of their anger on. And so just, I always think when you're in that situation, so what does the anger do? Like, what are you achieving by putting this anger on this person? So there are legal ways to, for whatever issues there are. You know, there are things that you can do. You can advocate. You can write letters. You can do all these things. But anger never helps. Is what I've always found, because it always comes right back to you. Anger equals sadness. We're trying to be happy here, no matter what. We're trying to find a way to happiness, even though the world can look insane. So this is one part of this lesson that I love, because it's so simple. This is it. This is the answer that we're all looking for. Forgive and be forgiven. As you give, you will receive. That's it. That's the secret to this life here. And it's so simple, and it just seems too simple, right? But it is. It's that simple. But it's really difficult sometimes, especially now. But when you do, you'll find that rush of release, this amazing feeling of just it's just wonderful. Whenever I do these lessons in the morning, at first it's just, your mind is just mixed with all kinds of different things, and you're thinking about this you have to do later in the day, or all these different things that you're worrying about. But then the deeper you get in the meditation, it's just like, yeah, this feels really good. And then it hits you. The energy just comes in, and it's like this, like, source energy, love, and it just comes in. It just, it just feels so good. It's kind of like, feels like what the hippies were kind of trying to get to, but at times we're kind of misguided and taken on the wrong path through, drugs and things like that, because it's available, and within 5 minutes in a meditation, you get there and you're just like, yes, this is it. And then usually I have my eyes closed, but I can see like a cloudy day that it would just light up just for that few minutes that I'm there. And then when I'm finished the meditation, it just goes back to the gray sky, but it's just it's just amazing. So forgiveness, what a powerful thing. So here's the other part of the lesson that I wanted to read, because I think it's really, really helpful. Forgiveness offers everything you want. Today, all things you want are given you. Let not your gifts recede throughout the day as you return again to meet a world of shifting change and bleak appearances. Retain your gifts in clear awareness as you see the changeless in the heart of change, the light of truth behind appearances. So this refers to something like in the Course in Miracles they often talk about, is using your Christed eyes, of seeing the world as forgiven, and seeing that everyone puts on these masks, and the world has all these different masks, and everything looks, as they said, bleak and shifting, and nothing remains. But if you look behind everything, you'll see the love, and then you can forgive because there's love behind everything. And it's the Mason, it's the key, it's the thing that keeps us all together. The love is the reason we're here. If there wasn't a love, we would not be here. We would not be here without love. And so I wanted to share that. I think it's really important. And the reason it's important for me is just, it makes me feel really good. So I wanted to talk about that. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about, so recently I've been watching a lot of wuxing films. Wuxing is the name for, they're kind of martial arts films, but they're all about, I think it's the Song Dynasty and I'm going to get this wrong, Qian Dynasty, around the time when Tai Chi was being developed and Qigong was being developed. And so they're just wonderful movies. And the nice thing about them is that They remind me of the movies that I used to watch when I was a kid, like Goonies or E.T., because there's not a lot of violence in them, and the story is just a wonderful adventure story. Because I can't really watch any like new movies recently, because every time I watch it and think, oh, this is great, but then it's just like, why all this violence? Why all this blood? Why all this gore? And these movies don't have that, and so it's just wonderful, just fun. You're not gonna get shocked by it. Hey, Patty. Yeah, hey, thanks for joining in. Yeah. So that was the first part about the third way. And then I just wanted to share a little bit about since I've been working with the Qigong recently, I've been trying to be practical about energy, practical about like the energy that I feel. Now, I often feel energy on the top of my head, um, and it's usually on the back right of my head here. Sometimes, like to this morning, I felt it here. There's just like this heavy magnetic feeling, which was different, but I haven't really felt into it too much. But and there's two types recently. So what I'm doing recently is I'm drawing pictures and mapping out the feelings to try to figure out like if there's a way to really understand each one. So, for example, sorry, I'm a little over the place. I wanted to talk about the movie They Live, and it's connected with what I'm talking about now. So, what's the one I want to talk about? Okay, so the recent one I got, maybe I'll just show you the picture here. Solo. Okay, so the recent one I got is this one. Oh, you can see the picture. I was walking down, it was raining, and I got this like sudden energetic zap, and it was really, really strong, right on the top right back of my head. And I looked around, I saw one woman on the bridge, like about 100 meters away. I didn't know if she was responsible for it or not, but it could be a lot of these things. It could be just sent from a what are they called? Some sort of tower or whatever, wherever they send that, or wherever we get our cell phone reception or whatever, But I'm not sure. I didn't know exactly what was sent, but but I looked into it. So that's what I've been doing recently, rather than just saying, "Ouch," get this off of me. Of course, I do that too. But so I get the energetic zap, and then so I was looking into it, and it had like these pink tentacles. It was like a almost like an octopus, like a pink octopus, and it where is it here? And it said, I asked what it was here, and it said die, and I was like, oh, okay. This is not a very nice energetic attack. It said die, and then I felt this pain on the right side of my chest, and I thought, oh, okay, well. Yeah, okay, so now I understand what this is. It's definitely an attack. And so I said a prayer, and I'll share the prayers that I've been using. So with energetic attacks, for me, so this is my own learning. Many people have their own ways. I don't know what the best system is, but recently with Qigong, developing your Jang energy, your Dantian energy first, because that's part that deals with your physical body, and it helps to strengthen your aura and whatever it is, so that it's more difficult for things to come in. And so I do that, and then in addition, I do prayers, because prayers seem to work as well. And the two prayers I use, they're from Miles Monroe, and the first one is what's the first one? I'll just do the second one because I can't remember the first one. All of a sudden, stage fright. But okay, the first one, yeah. Let the fire of God intercept all witchcraft projections, incantations, spiritual travelers targeting me at this moment. That's the first one. Simple, very easy. And you can shift that into, for example, you could shift it into, energetic towers or whatever you want to put in there. I put it all in there. That's the first one. That's a simple one. But then if you still feel it, then I go into the next one. So this goes, no high-ranking principality has dominion in my jurisdiction. The access is denied, the grip is broken, the altar is dismantled, the cycle is over, the future is redeemed. I stand in legal immunity. I stand as a threat to every witch, warlock, and monitoring spirit. That's it. And it's very powerful, especially that last one. I always feel that. I felt it just now. It's very strong because it's an energetic statement. It's like, hey, this is my space. Get out of my space. And it's not an attack on them. You're not sending anything back. You're just saying, hey, leave me alone. This is my space. That's it. And it's very powerful. In addition to strengthening your Jang energy, being aware of your energetic field. So I wanted to share that. Miles Monroe is the name of the guy who created those prayers, and they're really good. They're really easy, really simple, short. You can use them whenever, and I use them like throughout the day. And so I wanted to share that. And so I'm just on the path of understanding these energetic attacks. I don't know exactly what they are. Many people have many theories. There is a way to use, and I've seen this, to use electricity now, right? There are computer programs that people have that certain people are privy to, or whatever, that can send an energetic wave at you. So that's part of it, but that's just one aspect of it. And so I'm just trying to figure it out, not because I'm really interested in it, but because I feel it and I want to, figure it out. And so that's why I'm interested in it. It's not like a academic thing. So I wanted to share that. And then I wanted to share, so I've watched the movie They Live again for like the 5th or 6th time, because it's just so good. And it's so relevant to what's going on in our world today, and especially back in 2020. It really opened my eyes. I mean, my eyes were open, and then I saw that movie. I thought, and especially the line that where. So if you haven't seen They Live, spoiler alert, you might want to fast forward. But guy in the movie finds these goggles, these sunglasses. When he puts them on, he sees the actual world. So all of the advertisements, he sees what they actually say. And they say, for example, like buy, procreate. And then he also sees that not all humans were humans. Some of the humans were aliens. And so that's basically the movie. But what in the movie, so I want to share that one part that I love, is that, so first time he puts on the glasses and he's like walking around a supermarket and he's running into things and he's just looking at this one woman. She's just talking normally, but he's just staring at her and thinking, oh my God, you're one of them. And then I think this was back in the 80s. She had a smartwatch. All right. So yeah. And so they probably had them back then, of course. So, but she had a smartwatch, and she said, "We've got one that can see." And I thought, yeah, exactly. Because once you start being able to see, and this is on different levels, like the first level of being able to see is when you're able to see behind the news stories, the news cycles, right? And you get to see like, oh, well, this happened and now this happened, and then what is the connection here? Rather than jumping into like, I'm so angry that this happened, you just step back. Because if you're in the anger, you're trapped. You're in the control. But that's one aspect. Then the other aspect is when you start developing your third eye, so that you can see things that are behind things. And that's why I love They Live so much, because it is like that. It's basically like the spiritual process. You just realize that nothing is what you thought it was, and the world is so much different, and it can be quite shocking at first. But after a while, you understand, oh, this is the world. This is the way it is. And so I want to share that. In They Live, though, the final thing that I wanted to share is that they had this, on top of the TV station, which is good too. On top of the TV station, there was this satellite dish that was revolving, and it was sending out a frequency into the city, and the frequency, it just kept saying sleep, sleep, but you wouldn't be able to hear it unless you put the glasses on, and then you could hear it. And this is where we are. This is exactly where we are. This is the energy that's being pushed through, and it can be pushed through. We've got all these devices all around us. It's so easy, and so the reason I'm bringing this up is so it's really important to be aware of your emotions, because if you're not, they've got you. And I don't mean that as a scary thing. I mean, they've got you, but that you are asleep and you are in control, but you're not in your true power. But if you're in your true power, then you can find your true happiness, and you can find the things that you love to do. You can be happy and successful however you want. and you can find the beauty in everyday life. And so I just wanted to share that. And the reason also, I'm sharing, sorry, just so many things I want to say. The reason also is that I wrote a book called The Dragon Book. Let's see, The Dragon Book. I'll show it here. Let's see here. I wrote a book called The Dragon Book, and in The Dragon Book, I was channeling Tiamat, who is a dragon. And she was giving me a lot of information and insight into the dragons. So here's the Dragon Book. And I would open into another window so you can't see. Oh well. But yeah, the Dragon Book. And so in the book, though, there's a whole chapter about energy devices that she was talking about how it's, for the dragons, it's really a simple technology. It's just like a simple box for them. It's like something for we would think of as analog, like maybe an old record player. But for us, it's like super high tech. And what it is, it's a loosh gatherer or energy gatherer. And they'll usually put them in public spaces like malls and these sort of places. And so when you go into a mall, or I don't know if malls exist anymore in America, but there's still a few in Japan. But or if you go into any kind of public space and there's music playing and there's colors all over the place and there's all these things that you don't need, but they're selling and you think maybe I do need them, and this thing looks too expensive, and then you think about your finances and you think about like, I'm not making enough money, and all these kind of things, and you're all this worry and all this, and then you go into a little trance because you hear a little bit of music somewhere, and then you smell some sort of perfume, and you think, oh, where did that 10 minutes go? All that is going right up into that machine, and it just, it's like a smoke inhaler, just grabs all that energy, and that's like a feeding box. And so I thought, oh, that was really interesting, because that's kind of what they're talking about, and they live. So it's a bit of a confirmation. All right, that was all the stuff I wanted to talk. Oh, one last thing is about the energy. What did I want to say about the energy? So another part of the energy that I've been feeling is, so like on the train a lot. I ride the train, but it's usually crowded. I live in a relatively big city, and it's Japan, so the trains are always crowded, and people are usually not very happy because they're either going to work or coming home from work, and they're just angry, pissed off, whatever it is, sad, hopeless, all the energy. And I usually pick up on all that. That's why I'm doing the qigong, to try to, like, I don't want to feel your hopelessness, your sadness, your anger. I got my own stuff to deal with. So, but anyway, so recently though, I was on the train, and I've been feeling this new feeling. So the feeling, the energetic zap feeling, it's a really strong, like, zap, like, ouch, that hurt. But the other one that I've been feeling recently is, it's just like this, I'm getting the Japanese word for it. I can't think of the English word. Jiwa. Jiwa. So it's just bua feeling. And it's like someone's kind of like massaging your head, or it's like you're feeling electricity, kind of like, but it doesn't hurt. It just kind of feels a little bit strange, because it's like this kind of electrical pulse going on the back of your head. And it's like kind of like someone's grabbing like this. And so I was, oh, this is interesting. That's a different one. And I looked over at the person that was sending this energy, and noticed that they didn't look away. And it wasn't an angry look. It was just kind of like they were kind of almost in a trance kind of thing. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. That's a new one. And so, but I'm not exactly sure exactly what it is, because I'm trying to, but I do know that the person was in a daze, and they kind of looked, it was almost like a kind of a flirty feeling, I guess. So maybe that's the energy of that, So it's interesting. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm cataloging all of them, and I think I'm going to put them together into like a sort of book or booklet. So just so like I could share this with other people that might be feeling the same thing. So yeah, that's, I'm all out of breath now. Wow, I've been talking for 30 minutes. My goodness. The last thing I wanted to say is, maybe I'm not going to talk about that. Never mind. I'll keep it at this, keep it on a nice bright feeling. So yeah, I hope you guys are hopeful. On my channel, I was gonna do another separate channel to do Japanese channelings, but I found it like with copyright issues and stuff, it's better just to keep it on this one. So I'm gonna just keep it on this channel. So if you see Japanese, you can just skip it, or if you understand Japanese, watch it. You know, if you're studying Japanese, I shared, or one of my channelings. Someone listened to it and they said, oh, you know, it sounded pretty good. You know, native Japanese speaker. So I thought, oh, okay. Because I whenever I listen to my Japanese channelings, I'm always like correcting my grammar, like, oh my God, and my pronunciation and all this kind of stuff. So, but yeah. But so I've got a little more confidence. Thank you, Takako. Yeah. So, but all right. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I'm not going to do any channeling. I put up a channeling on the site as well. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys are hopeful. Thanks, Patty, and everyone else for joining in. And remember, it's the third way. Forgiveness is the key. And just as forgive and be forgiven, as you give, you will receive. There's no plan but this for the salvation of the Son of God. Who's the Son of God? All of us, right? Everyone. So, all right. Ciao.